Easter is commonly associated with the Christian faith, as it celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The history of the holiday, though, dates back to ancient Jewish culture. In this video, we will examine the Jewish origins of Easter and the cultural adaptations that have occurred throughout history. Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. The First Council of Nicaea established this date in 325 AD, but its origins go back much further. Easter is derived from the Old English word astre, which was the name of a pagan festival celebrating the spring equinox. Prior to the pagan celebration, however, a Jewish holiday known as Passover was observed during the same time of year. Passover commemorates the liberation of the Jews from slavery in Egypt, and involves eating unleavened bread and sacrificing a lamb. These traditions were later adopted and incorporated into the Easter celebration by the early Christian Church. The story of the Last Supper in the New Testament is particularly illustrative of the Jewish origins of Easter. According to this account, Jesus and his disciples gathered the night before his crucifixion to celebrate the Passover meal. During the meal, Jesus ate bread and drank wine with his disciples, instructing them to do so in his memory. This act of breaking bread and sharing wine is now known as the Eucharist and is central to the Christian Easter celebration. Notably, these rituals have clear parallels in Jewish tradition, particularly the sharing of matzah, unleavened bread and wine during Passover. The story of the crucifixion is an additional significant link between Jewish tradition and the Easter celebration. According to the New Testament, Jesus was arrested and tried for blasphemy before Jewish authorities. He was then delivered to the Roman authorities, who condemned him to death on a cross. While historians and theologians disagree on the specifics of this story, there is no doubt that it is deeply rooted in Jewish history and tradition. The concept of sacrifice, for instance, is fundamental to both Jewish and Christian beliefs, and the notion of a Messiah who would liberate the Jewish people was also a significant part of Jewish tradition. Despite these clear connections, Easter has been adapted in numerous ways by various cultures throughout history. In some regions of Europe, for instance, the holiday is associated with the goddess of fertility Astre, who was believed to preside over the spring equinox. This association led to the custom of decorating eggs, which were viewed as symbols of new life and rebirth. In other cultures, Easter is associated with more solemn customs, such as fasting during the Lenten season preceding Easter Sunday. This tradition was adopted by the Christian Church as a way to prepare for the celebration of the resurrection, but it has its origins in Jewish tradition, specifically the practice of fasting on the Day of Atonement. In conclusion, Easter's Jewish roots are an integral part of its history and significance. From the celebration of Passover to the story of the Last Supper, Jewish tradition has influenced the Christian celebration of Easter in a number of ways. Throughout history, the holiday has also been adapted and transformed by various cultures, reflecting the diverse ways in which people have sought to find meaning and connection in the world.